We interrupt our program to bring you a special broadcast.
Boom! Headshot!
Hey, it's Clay. How you guys doing? Got another gameplay for commentary here for you. This time I'm playing some FTL Faster Than Light. I am absolutely in love with this game. I beat it for the first time last night on easy. I will be definitely doing some more Let's Play stuff because this game is awesome. If you guys have not tried it, it is so much fun. I highly recommend it. I mean, it's just such a fresh change of pace from, you know, the Call of Duty shooter series style stuff. I mean, it is such a cool game. You have to try it. But I don't want to talk about FTL right now. I want to talk about PC gaming in general. And this actually spawned from a KB Mod podcast that I was listening to last week. And basically, they were doing like some, you know, like Game of the Year type stuff. Just kind of talking about the nature of, you know, how they thought PC gaming was and all that jazz. And one of the things that they just kind of were reflecting on was how good of a year PC gaming had. And just how successful the PC gaming platform has been. You know, think about Minecraft, Skyrim, Happy Wheels, DayZ. I think is a really interesting example. You know, look at the way that the Call of Duty scene embraced DayZ. I mean, so many of those Call of Duty guys started playing DayZ quite a bit. It was all over the place. And DayZ is a PC only mod. I mean, how many people started asking questions about builds? You know, will this run DayZ? Can this PC, if I build this PC, can it run you know, a game? You know, even the way that Battlefield 3, it was so much better on PC. Skyrim was you know, I think that was maybe a 2011 or maybe 2012 release, but Skyrim was huge, and that was, you know, predominantly a PC game. You know, there was a lot of people playing that on PC. Not necessarily everybody played it on Xbox. You know, all these different examples keep popping up, and a lot of this I think is attributable to the lag that we've seen in console games. You know, this has definitely been talked about, but the ways in which, you know, these consoles are so old in terms of hardware, and they're so far behind PCs that, you know, think about the Battlefield 3. I mean, it's a great example. You know, consoles, you just are so limited by your player size, by, you know, because there's so much destruction in the maps and all that jazz. The experience is legitimately better on PC. You know, and even looking at YouTube as a whole, outside of kind of the basic gaming sector, you know, look at guys like CNanders and Hutch. You know, their series with the Gary's Mod, you know, Trouble in Terrorist Town stuff, like that is, again, exclusively PC content. You cannot get that on a console. I just think it's really cool to see the ways in which PC gaming has grown, and the ways in which people see how it's a viable platform, and how much fun it can be, really, to play games on PC. This is something I'm passionate about, and it's cool to see it start to spread a little bit. You know, and I'm really, really curious to see how PC gaming continues to grow and evolve as we move forward. You know, one of the things I think from this recent CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, is that, you know, with Valve, I think they're really intentionally trying to narrow the gap between console and PC. They're trying to make it so that those two things are not necessarily mutually exclusive. I think that's a really, really cool and interesting concept. You know, the one of the potential pluses of the Steam box is to make PC gaming a lot more accessible. Because right now, I mean, just from a pure cost standpoint, really the best way to get into it is to roll your own computer. And I think a lot of people are not comfortable doing that, and that's a pretty big hindrance. You know, and I think that that's pretty reasonable, pretty justifiable. I mean, it's one thing to go to Best Buy and buy an Xbox for a couple $100. What are they, like $200 right now? I think when I bought mine, it was $300 a couple years ago. That's really not a huge investment. Whereas this gaming PC, I mean, you're gonna have to drop at least like $500, $600, $700, maybe even up to $1,000 to get a really solid gaming rig that can run stuff like Battlefield 3. I mean, and then you have to learn how to put it together, and you have to troubleshoot it, and, you know, you have to be kind of a computer hardware knowledgeable, and I think that can be really intimidating for a lot of people. So, you know, for something like the Steam box to come in and offer the ability to, you know, if it's going to be $400 or $500, I mean, that was kind of where the PS3 was when it first released. So if the Steam box kind of sits in that category where it's really not out of the reach of realm of possibilities for, you know, a lot of these traditional console players, but it has so many, it gives you the ability to play these PC games. It gives you the ability to take advantage of hardware that's open and that's, you know, swappable, that you're not locked in with an old hardware set for years and years and years. That you have things like a keyboard and a mouse that you can play with. I mean, I think it's really cool and interesting to kind of see these things move together. And you know, also I think it'd be really cool to see some of the strengths of console gaming come to PC. You know, what if all of your friends got a Steam box? What if all of your friends can play the games that you play on PC? I mean, that's really cool. Because, you know, it definitely is a hindrance, I think, of PC gaming. It's one of the weaknesses of PC gaming, is that it's harder to get your friends together to play. I mean, it's so easy to get a group of guys together on Xbox Live. It just is, it's very, very well done. It's one of its console's greatest strengths. So I think I would like to see that gap narrow, and I would like this whole console PC war to kind of fizzle out and just kind of unify, if that makes sense. You know, the strengths and weaknesses become non-existent because it's all just kind of the same. I think that would be really cool. You know, and I guess we'll see how that all happens. I think that Valve is really probably the greatest hope for this. I don't think Sony and Microsoft will ever, you know, take steps towards this, just because they're so, you know, they want it to be exclusive. They want, you know, and I guess Steam is the same way. They want it to be on PC because Steam can't sell games on Xbox Live. You know, but overall, I think my thoughts come down to this. It's been a really good year for PC gaming. And I think that's really cool. I think it's very cool and it's very exciting to see these positive steps forward. I think it's cool to see PC gaming become more mainstream, and I'm kind of excited to see where it continues to go and continues to grow, because you know, it's a hobby of mine that I really enjoy, and I really would like to see other people enjoy it as well. So I'm going to wrap things up here. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any thoughts or comments on the nature of PC gaming, I'd love to hear them down in the comment section below. Really, just, it's been a good year, and feeling good about where things are headed. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you soon.